I don't have to go to a psychiatrist to figure out why I'm screwed up. Like,
Okay, well, that's going to be hard to top, Josh, honestly.
yay!
In the morning, I'm making waffles.
Whoever said orange was the new pink was seriously disturbed.
And when it comes to huge openings, a lot of people think of me.
Just call me a fuck ass.
Brilliant. Scary. I get nasty when I'm horny.
Welcome to Not Another 2001 Movie Podcast, a show exploring movies released during the first year of a chaotic century. Straighten your hair and sit up a little taller, guys, because we're talking The Princess Diaries. I'm Allison.
I'm Slate.
I'm Josh. My hair is always straight.
Yeah, let me straighten mine here real quick, guys. All right.
And let's get right into the question of the week. Have you all ever learned something shocking about your family that you felt you should have known earlier?
Well, I guess I'll start with this one since Josh said to save his depressing story for last. We'll try to brighten the mood here a little bit. I mean, I guess I learned it. I learned probably at I want to say around like the age between 12 to 14, that I've got a 10th great grandfather, which everybody has, but mine is somewhat of royalty in Pennsylvania, if you will. I didn't know much about him, and I still to this day I don't know a whole lot about him, but my 10th great grandfather from my dad's side of the family, who most of that side of the family still lives in Pennsylvania. My grandfather moved here from Pennsylvania when he was young, and so like he has no family here, or had no family here before he passed away. Like that whole side still lives in Pennsylvania. But we are related to a gentleman gentleman named they called him a
Tater
gentleman
salad?
Yeah, Tater Tot. A gentleman named Conrad Weiser, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, his name's Conrad Weiser. It's a pretty cool name, and it's weird because like when you talk about American history and stuff and things about that nature, especially our situation with the Native Americans and the peace treaties and everything, that he's never mentioned, at least like from my school history in Indiana. I don't know if they taught much about him in Kentucky, but Conrad Weiser apparently is like a big figure in Pennsylvania. They have national parks named after him. He pretty much did a lot of the compromises and negotiations with Native Americans in order to try to create peace treaties amongst them and the colonizers at that time. And he was a pretty big advocate for Native Americans and their way of life and trying to share that culture versus necessarily taking it from them. So
that would explain why he's maybe been pushed outside of history a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, yeah. But like I said, in Pennsylvania, he's kind of a big deal. Like, I guess everybody seems to really know who he is in Pennsylvania. It would be probably like, living in Clarksville, Indiana, where I grew up, everybody knows about, Lewis and Clark, and their expedition. And Conrad Weiser's kind of that version for them. So that's kind of like the crazy thing to me. But, obviously, like, 2026 me, I'm still a little bit skeptic about like, okay, what type of person was he really though? Like, was he really an advocate for Native Americans, or was he really like stealing shit from them? You know what I mean? So, but at least
I guess an advocate at that
tells.
time would probably look much different than what we would consider an advocate now. But in the
but they have like museums and a bunch of exhibits and stuff dedicated to him. So if I ever make it out to Pennsylvania to connect to some family members out that way, I would love to check that out. So
yeah, I was going to ask if you'd ever visited anything,
but so originally, 2 years ago, I guess it'll be 3 years ago in April, I took Sophia my daughter took her to WrestleMania 40 in Pennsylvania at Philadelphia, and she was like, all into wrestling, super excited. We were going to make a huge trip out of it, and my family that I've never met, my sister, my dad, like they've went out there and met them. I've never met them. But they live about 2 hours outside of Philadelphia. So originally, Sophia and I were going to go out there and meet them, spend a day with them, and connect. But like right before we drove out there, like the day before we started heading to Philly, my cousin messaged me and said that like 3 or 4 of them were all like sick, and had the flu or COVID. Going around at that time. It was a little bit after COVID, but they had something along those lines still. And so we decided to kind of put it off, which sucked. I was excited to meet them and for Sophia to meet like family that I'd never met and share that with her. But, hopefully I'd love to go back out there. Like Philadelphia is an awesome town, and to make another 2-hour trip out of it and meet them would be cool too. So I've heard great things about that side of the family. Would love to meet them.
Cool.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I've been to Philadelphia, but it was a very short trip, but I enjoyed it for what little time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go next. So I have a really actually I did think of something really not good, but definitely shocking.
Okay.
That I can't even verify its truth, and also I feel like telling it. I can tell you guys off mic what it is, but I feel like telling it. Sorry to tease the listeners, but like it could probably get people like arrested. So
are you gonna change
possibly.
the names in the story to protect them?
To protect the innocent.
Well, probably definitely not innocent.
To protect the guilty, Allison.
But this story I will share involves one of the main principal in the other story too. My dad, a frequent comes up sometimes on this podcast, not a great person. So the shocking thing that I learned, it's more like just when I learned. It's less that it was shocking that it was happening, and more like like how it all like was the moment that it all sort of came to a head. Long story short, my dad was sleeping with I don't know if she's technically his niece or like a second cousin or something like either way, really bad. I think niece. I'm pretty sure niece is the relation, the official relation. With my mom and him are married, or were, and my mom, I guess, caught him in the act at his brother's house, and came home, and I was sitting I was in my bedroom. I was 11 or 12, about 11, 12, somewhere in that range, and playing Animal Crossing on the GameCube. I remember it like playing as like the crystal clear. My mom came in crying, and my sisters were crying because my sisters were with her. Like she went and found, identified this like as it was happening. And I don't think they witnessed it, but like they, were with her in the car, and then they all came home and they were crying and I was crying, even though like I knew it was weird because it was the thing like we all like kind of knew was happening or felt like was happening, but didn't like, I guess, officially know. And then from there, like they were still married from that point, like for like 4 or 5 more years after that. And it was like, you just knew it was the end though. Like it was like, it should have ended before that, but yeah, lots of fun stories with my dad. I got another fun one. It's not shocking, but I hope we have another occasion to bring it up. I'll save it for a future podcast. But I got a really like crazy story involving my dad. Like really, I don't even know if you know this story, so you've probably heard it at some point.
I don't know, man.
Right.
You surprise me every time he comes up. So because that is not where I thought that was going.
That is not where I thought that story was going either.
Like that was one of the that one's a little tough to listen to. And I was trying to not smile because of the uncomfortableness. Fuck.
I think that stuff like that. I think about like how crazy that really is, like as a memory, and like hearing like and retelling that story, like growing up. Like I would hear like this whole situation played out as it was told by my mom, obviously, but to her friends and things. Like I would remember hearing her repeat this story like constantly and accusing him.
You have to relive that trauma over and over again,
and it was just like, and now I think like I probably like there's reasons I'm messed up Like, I know why. I don't have to go to a psychiatrist to figure out why I'm screwed up. Like,
Okay, well, that's going to be hard to top, Josh, honestly.
yay!
Well, this is a story that my sister enjoys telling because she thinks it's funny. And to give you a little context, I grew up in a very small Eastern Kentucky rural town, population like 350 people, level of small. And I've always known my mom's side of the family are relatively close, and most of my cousins lived in, Lexington, the big city, and we saw them frequently. And, but my dad's side of the family was always a little bit of a mystery to me. And he had one brother that we would go kind of see. He lived in Winchester and visit periodically. But my dad's mother died when I was 14. So I think I was just entering high school. And she'd had Alzheimer's toward basically the entire time that I had been alive. So I never really knew her because she didn't remember anybody at that point. But we're at the funeral, and there's always people that you don't recognize when you're in those situations. And I look over and I see this, older man that I'd never seen before. And I was like, who's that guy? And my sister said, that's your uncle. I was like, what? No, he's not. I thought she was just, trolling me essentially. And I was like, that's not my uncle. She's like, yes, that's your uncle. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, Uncle Tom is over there. And she's like, that is Dad's other brother. And I was like, he doesn't have another brother. Turns out he did. And not only did the older brother was estranged from my dad and his brother Tom. Not only that, he lived like 2 miles down the road from us. And I never knew who he was, never met him, never knew I was related to him. I was like, how did this happen?
That's a long time in life to go without meeting someone who lived 2 miles.
Who lived 2 miles in a town of 350 people.
Because I grew up in a similar situation, a small town, and like the brother and niece in my story were not far from where we lived, and it's just weird to think about, like, how could I have possibly never met any of my dad's brothers or sisters? Like, That's pretty good, honestly. That's impressive that you dodged them that long.
Of course, my sister thought it was so funny that I was protesting so much. That's why she loves to tell the story. She was like, you were so dumb.
Did you introduce yourself? Did you go up to him and like?
No.
So she still has never met her uncle.
No, yes, that is correct. Technically, I never met him. I have met his son and daughter, though, which are cousins that I didn't realize I had two.
She's like, I'd hate to break an impressive streak.
Yeah, you got this far. You might as well keep it going.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
She's the what's his face with the Orioles?
Cal Ripken.
Cal Ripken. Yeah.
She's the Cal Ripken of not meeting uncles.
Okay, I get that reference now.
Yes.
Why on earth would you pick me to be your princess?
Since your father died, you are the natural heir to the throne of Genovia. That's our law. I'm royal by marriage. You are royal by blood. You can rule.
Rule? Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Now you have really got the wrong girl. I never lead anybody. Not at Brownies, not at Campfire Girls. Queen Clarice, my expectation in life is to be invisible, and I'm good at it.
All right. Well, the question of the week, obviously, I asked because learning a big family secret is kind of the plot driver of this movie. So, The Princess Diaries is a 2001 family-friendly comedy directed by the legendary Gary Marshall. He was a writer, director, actor, producer. He worked on classic TV comedies like The Dick Van Dyke Show and Happy Days, transitioned to movies in the 80s. And he was best known for producing the type of movies that we just don't see in theaters much anymore. The mid-budget romantic comedy and comedy dramas. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the bonus features. But his most famous romantic comedy is the eternal classic Pretty Woman.
Never seen it.
I was going to say, this is where I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the way that I haven't seen it either. And it's sad. What's sad is I bought it to prepare for this episode. So I have the Blu-ray sitting over there, like
Just haven't seen it.
3 feet away from where I'm sitting, and I just didn't manage to crack time to find it. So I do want to watch it though. I have seen Runaway Bride, which was his first movie before this one. I don't even remember. I was a kid when I watched that one. So apparently the lesser movie though.
I remember seeing my mother and sister watching Runaway Bride, and I mean, obviously, Pretty Woman is one of those ones that is like just exploded into the zeitgeist and is referred to in every movie and rom-com discussion and stuff. So like, I feel like I've seen it without ever seeing it because I know exactly what it's about, but I've never watched it. But yeah.
Now I did watch a crap ton of his shows growing up. Happy Days.
Happy Days was
Laverne and
amazing.
Shirley, Mork and Mindy. I watched all that. It was all on Nick at Night when I was a kid, but that's how I watched it. Crap. I love Happy Days. Happy Days is still
Me
one of
too.
my favorite sitcoms.
Happy Days is amazing.
All right. Well, Pretty Woman, much like this movie, is similar in that Julia Roberts becomes a star in that movie. I mean, she is the movie. She's the reason you watch it, and she's fantastic to watch. So The Princess Diaries stars Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews, Hector Elizondo, Heather Matarazzo, I think that's how you say it, and Fat Louie as himself.
I love Fat Louie. He's my favorite part.
I love Fat Louie.
Wait a minute, you leaving out the pop singer?
I'm getting there, Slate.
Oh,
Look at my
okay.
notes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, read.
My fault.
Read.
Read, man, read.
My bad. I'm just taking it in, listening.
Yes, pop singer Mandy Moore shows up to play the first of several stereotypical teen villains that she'd go on to play in the early aughts. This was her first live-action movie. She did a voice in Dr. Dolittle 2 that came out like 2 months before this, but this was her first time on the movie screen.
How close is this to A Walk to Remember?
It comes out the next year.
I was thinking that was
Okay.
2002.
Okay.
Stephanie likes that movie.
Oh, Walk to Remember is an all-time
I've never watched
favorite.
it, so.
It's a great movie. She's awesome in it. You definitely should watch it. It'll make you cry, but it's great.
Yeah, it's a tearjerker.
100%.
So Princess Diaries is based on a novel, a series really, by Meg Cabot. This movie is a coming-of-age story that follows a young, awkward teen who learns that she's actually the princess of a fake European country, and she must decide if she wants to glam up, step into that role, or remain a normal teen in San Francisco with her mom. This is the movie I chose for the sweet category in the draft, which is our family and children's movies. And I chose it because, much like Slate chose Atlantis first because he didn't want to be left with something really terrible, I made sure to I think this was my first pick.
You're welcome, Allison. You're welcome.
Because I also wanted to make sure I didn't end up with like Dr. Dolittle 2 or something terrible.
Spy Kids was just like peeking over at me, and I was like, oh my God, get away.
Well, the hate for Spy Kids, man.
It's so real. I promise you, it's so real.
So this movie was released in late July 2001. It made $165.3 million worldwide on a budget of just $26 million. It received mixed reviews, which again, I was surprised because my memories of this were that people liked it and were very fond of it. Mm-hmm. But it's
Go ahead,
certified rotten.
See, that's
crazy.
That's what I was stunned when I saw that because
49% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's crazy. That's the same score as Jeepers Creepers. No lie, I just looked at that earlier.
I just don't understand it. I don't understand how it's that divisive. Like it just.
And I love to bring up Roger Ebert, and he was rough on this movie.
Yeah, Ebert did not. I can tell you right now, he did not like this movie.
He hated this movie. He gave it 1.5 stars. His review begins as thus: "Haven't I seen this movie before? The Princess Diaries is a march through the swamp of recycled ugly duckling stories with occasional pauses in the marsh of sitcom cliches and the bog of idiot plots."
Oof.
Shit, man.
What's worse, that or the Exit Wounds reviews?
Or Swordfish. That one.
Oh, the Swordfish one.
Swordfish.
I forgot about that one. Was fucking awful.
Well, it's funny, like, and I think even Knight's Tale kind of had some, I think of the 4 movies we've talked about, I guess it was the best. retrospectively considered the best of the four, at least critically. And I don't know. I feel like I understand what Ebert's saying in his review.
I mean, it is Pygmalion, My Fair
Yeah.
Lady. It's
Yeah.
right.
But this was
But it's,
made
like,
for 9-year-old girls. Like,
It's
you know,
a Disney
like,
movie.
like,
Yeah.
and you're you have to judge it on its, what it's going for. At least I tend to, think about that critic.
Gary Marshall made this because he wanted to make a G-rated live action movie for girls, because G-rated movies are generally cartoons a lot of the time. So he intentionally wanted to make something that, young girls could watch, but that their parents may also enjoy as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, this feels to me a lot like a John Hughes movie, but if it was approached for, like, kids and girls as princesses, like that type of story.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, like, going back to when this movie came out, like you, Allison, I don't remember a bunch of bad reviews or people hating it. Like, I remember every other commercial on, like, the Disney Channel was for this movie. Like, you know what I mean? It was just everywhere at the time. Like, I felt like I knew Anne Hathaway before I ever even saw her in this movie, because of just, she was everywhere. And
yeah, we were in the demo, or kind of,
Yeah.
I know, Allison, you're a little older, but like my sisters especially were like the prime audience. Like, I remember watching this in theaters and watching it, a ton at home. We had the DVD, in the white case. Like, they had the little white, cheap.
Yeah, the
looking-
white.
Somehow
yeah.
the white ones looked cheaper than the black ones in the DVD cases, and I bet they were, because it was Disney. We watched the shit out of this movie. And
Yeah.
now I will say what was cool watching it this time, and I know we'll get into it in a minute, but like how much I didn't remember despite all of that watching it. Like, and I think that's more just a me problem, but it was cool revisiting it for this, and like, we'll get into it, but
Yeah. See, I do want to say, though, you were talking about, being catered towards like 8 or 9-year-olds. So spoiler alert, you guys already know, I let my daughter watch this. She's 8. And although it is weird, like, and maybe at that time it was catered to like 8 or 9-year-olds, but I don't know necessarily after watching this movie if it was catered towards like an 8-year-old, because my daughter, she liked it and she received it pretty well. But part of me thinks that if she was like 12, 13, she would have liked it more than she did. Because she said she was like, yeah, it was okay. And like, she liked it, and she was into it, but she, like, I don't think was like the exact target audience that like it clicked with her. You know what I mean? So.
Mm-hmm. If you're like 12 or 13 and you're kind of starting to notice boys, and you probably get a little more out of that side plot of
She will never notice boys ever. Ever. She can date when she's married.
Okay. I'm going to reference another line from Ebert's review, because I feel like he really missed the point here. But he says, Gary Marshall, the director, hasn't had the nerve to cast a real 15-year-old as Mia, but supplies us instead with Anne Hathaway, who is almost 21 years old and is a classic beauty in the Daphne Zuniga tradition. Okay, first of all, she was 18 when this was filmed.
Okay, I was going to say, what?
In a world where we have 20-somethings playing teenagers, I think she makes a pretty believable teen, even though she is slightly older than the character.
Yeah, this is just like the fact that he was like worked up about that is so weird, because like I came of like I'm a big Power Rangers guy, all those, like there was a fucking 30-year-old playing like a 16-year-old on that show, and like it's like, come on, bro.
Also,
yeah, well, my first thought was I thought she was like 16, maybe 17 when you watch this movie, like you said, Allison, she's very much,
she was
seems
just
like a young
18,
girl,
right? Like it wasn't, or maybe I remember reading that just the lead up and just thinking like, why would?
And her performance is fucking amazing.
I know, that's why I was like, I feel like you're missing the point in that do you not appreciate that you can just tell that she's going to be a star? I think she's so good in this movie.
Absolute star in this film.
Yep.
All right, a few fun facts. There is a BuzzFeed article that's like a behind the scenes of the Princess Diaries where I got a lot of this stuff. If anyone cares to go read it, I included a link in the notes here. But yes, this is Anne Hathaway's first movie, and as we said, I think it was clear that she was destined to be a star because she is the movie. She's the heart of the movie. And yes, the plot is one that we have seen before, but her performance makes this movie worth watching. And also Julie Andrews. She was basically, they described her as semi-retired, and she hadn't made a Disney movie since Mary Poppins.
That's
Oh,
wild.
wow. Yeah, that's retired. That's retired.
And I remember when this was kind of being promoted and coming out that the big deal was that Julie Andrews was in this movie, that they got Julie Andrews, and that was kind of a lot of what was played up at the time. You know, Anne Hathaway is an unknown, but they were really using Julie Andrews to kind of sell it, presumably to parents, to the older crowd, to get them in theaters with their children. This movie was produced by none other than Whitney Houston.
As soon as I saw that credit, I was like, "What? Whitney Houston?
Yep.
That's wild."
Yep, alongside Deborah Martin Chase, they also together produced the 1997 Cinderella movie in which Houston starred. So in the books, which I have not read, again, I was just kind of reading the synopsis here, Mia's father is alive, and he's the one that needs Mia to step up and become his heir. But for the movie, in writing the screenplay, they basically told Meg Cabot, we got Julie Andrews to be the grandma, and she's got to be the star, so we're just going to kill off the dad and give his lines to her.
Honestly,
I can't argue with that.
I think it
good
fits,
choice.
though. I think it works. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they do the story in the, because I guess in the book there's probably got to be more stuff about like, well, why weren't you in my life, Dad? For
Yep.
Yeah, I think like, and actually we'll get into it. I actually like. I think it's pretty funny how they handle some of that in the movie.
So in the movie, we hear her dad's voice when she finds his letter, and it switches from her reading it in her head to hearing his voice read it. And the voice is portrayed by an actor named Rene Auberjonois, who is apparently an American actor, by the way. I was sure he was going to be French, but however, the photo that we see of Mia's dad, that she kind of, she leans down and she's like, I'm sorry I let you down. And there's like a very clear photo of a man with a beard. That is actually Anne Hathaway's own father.
Oh, that's cool.
Gerald Hathaway.
Oh, that's neat.
There were a long list of actresses reportedly being considered for the role of Mia Thermopolis. Scarlett Johansson, January Jones, Emmy Rossum were in consideration. And allegedly, Juliette Lewis, Reese Witherspoon, and Claire Danes all turned down the role. I feel like that is a perfect casting call of the early aughts.
Yeah, it's a pretty good.
They all feel a little bit older, though, don't they? Like, Juliette Lewis is probably in her 20s.
ScarJo's right around that.
ScarJo would have been about the same age.
And Reese
I would have loved
Witherspoon,
ScarJo.
too, right? I mean, she was just in Election playing a high schooler.
I like Emmy Rossum. She actually looks. I think they look similar. Like they have similar looks. I could see why that she would have been in the consideration.
Yeah,
for sure.
I honestly think Anne probably steals this role because of her physical comedy. She has like a Jim Carrey-esque to her in this movie with her like facial structure and her over the top just physical comedy that she's able to pull off that I'm not necessarily sure the other ones could have done as well as she did.
Stephanie mentioned, I don't think she hadn't read the book, but I guess she'd read a little bit about it. That I guess in the book when they do the makeover, that they dye Mia's blonde, and so I wonder if that some of these women are obviously blondes. So I wonder if they were like thinking if that was like part like, and then hiring I wonder how that played into the hiring process. Like, okay, we'll just do the frizzy hair thing instead of trying to make her hair a different color.
Well, Hathaway said in an interview that she got the role in part because Gary Marshall's granddaughters saw her like audition tape and told him that she had the best princess hair.
Calling the experts.
It is very thick and luscious. So I was like, yeah, I get it. Okay. We'll get into talking about the movies, but impressions from you all. And Josh, you've seen it a lot before, and Slate, you'd seen it before too, right?
No.
If you
go back to our draft episode, remember Josh is giving me shit because I was battling between Atlantis and a movie I had never seen, but I knew was going to be a good pick.
He'd heard about this guard out of Wisconsin that he hadn't scouted, but put up some great numbers in D2.
Hey, it would have worked out for me. I'm still happy with my Atlantis pick. But no, I actually had not seen this movie until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I watched it once by myself. And then I watched it with my daughter. And watched it one more time. And now, of course, I have it on in the background. But it is such a fun, enjoyable movie. Like, I absolutely love it. Like you said, Anne Hathaway obviously steals the show in this film. And I think she crushes it. But Julie Andrews is great. And even the rest of the supporting cast, like, they all have some really fun, like, characteristics to them. Like, her relationship with her mom is awesome. Like, I love that they're, like, mother and daughter, but also best friends almost, and, but it feels like that they don't hit to where, like, there's not that mother-daughter dynamic, you know what I mean? She's still a responsible mother. And, like, the, Joe is awesome. I love him. He is, like, just the most charming man. I just think he's great. So I don't know. I love it. I think this movie does a lot of things well. There are the tropes in it, and I have seen other films that have, like, the coming of age, like, girl trope sequences in them that probably sometimes are done better. But, like, it's a fun movie. Like, I honestly can't believe I've never watched it before. Yeah, it's great.
I do think it is like it's candy a little bit, as like watching it as an adult, it's candy because it's like, oh, it's just, just gonna feel good thing from my childhood or whatever. I'm gonna throw it on, but it's also, it still has meat to it. It's like, it's simple. It is simplistic, but it, and what's the word I'm looking for? Earnest is the word I'm looking for. Like, and it's like, I think about that a lot with a lot of kid stuff, because people are quick to dismiss things for children often as, because they're too sweet or saccharine or simplistic. And I think this movie, so that's part of why I think you maybe get some of the reviews if you're looking at it as a critic, but I think it's like, it's great. Like, it's a really excellent kids movie, but also I think just if you're taking it off that scale, it's just a good movie too. Like, it's not perfect, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it is something that is fun to watch. And I never felt like, because this is, it's bored, it brushes up almost against 2 hours, and I don't really ever feel like it feels that long myself. And Anne Hathaway is awesome. Like, I mean, and Julie Andrews is good, and the rest of the cast is good, but really Anne Hathaway, she's in every scene in this movie. I think there might be one that she isn't, but like, she is in pretty much every scene in this movie, and she is shouldering that burden as a first time, person on a big screen and just nailing it. Like, that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
And working alongside someone like Julie Andrews.
Yeah.
Like,
she is not scared of her moment at all. Like,
yeah, she like is owning it. Like, it's crazy how good she is. Like, to the point where I think if you were like building like a Mount Rushmore of Anne Hathaway movies, like, you can only pick 4, this would, I think, have a case to be on that Mount Rushmore. Like, it's that good, like, which is crazy to say about someone's first movie and to be that young too.
Another thing that this movie has going for it too, is that this is one of those films that could transition directly into being a play, and I could feel it watching this and just think about how fun this movie would be to see, like, in theater in the round, and have I could honestly see Anne Hathaway doing this show on a theater stage and performing it, and she like carries that kind of performance into a film, and it doesn't film like it's a television movie. It doesn't film like it's a cheaply made, soap opera either. Like it's awesome.
That would be cool to see. Like, and I bet she actually would consider like
Yeah.
doing like okay, go play 15-year-old Mia again as a woman in your 30s, almost probably close to 40s now.
She's probably in her 40s now. Yeah,
she's in her 40s.
That would be pretty funny.
Pretty awesome.
Maybe like strangers with candy.
I'd go see it.
Okay, let me go through my notes here, which are a little less organized than normal. So we meet Mia and her hippie painter mom. They live in a refurbished fire station, which I absolutely love.
Seems like a cool place.
That's a cool pad.
I would live here. She gets to slide down a fireman's pole. I love when she runs up to her room and there's like a trapdoor attic thing. Yeah.
She says, "Where's she going?" What does she call it? What does she call the top room?
Oh, shit, I can't remember.
It's the royal bedchamber at some point.
Yeah,
I love the fire pole thing. Like, you talk about a thing that like used to be in every other TV show or movie that you never see anymore is fireman poles just in the random houses and structures. Like, that was like a staple of, I feel like, everything I watched for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick question. While we're like kind of on all this, okay, I know you said Genovia is a fake country, right? Am I tripping, or is there a Genovia and a Liechtenstein in both this film and Knight's Tale? I feel like at least one of those.
Well, Knight's Tale, his name is Sir
Liechtenstein.
Ulrich von Liechtenstein.
Yeah. Don't they drop a Liechtenstein in this movie too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
one of the royal parties, they say some of the royalty from Liechtenstein is there.
Yeah, that's okay. All right.
I noticed
and
that
I was
too.
like, I was like, hey, wait a minute, hold on now. And I was like, is he from Genovia as well? But I was like, they can't be, right? All right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sidetrack.
First of all, Mia's hair is insane, but I also think it's kind of perfect. And I feel like Roger Ebert was kind of mocking. I know it's a trope that, Anne Hathaway's beautiful. But I think they have done a good job of making her. She's not ugly, but she is very awkward in this movie. And I think part of it is the physical comedy, like you said, Slate. The way she carries herself is very awkward. Teen girl hasn't really grown into her own yet. And then they just add this massive hair. I mean, I knew girls growing up who had naturally curly hair and had not learned to tame it. I have such fine, thin hair and so little of it that I'm jealous of women who have really thick hair that they can actually do stuff with. But I think the look works for her pre-makeover.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My daughter has very similar hair to hers, and she's always wanting to straighten it because she hates how curly it is and brushing it and everything. And I'm like, women will kill to have the hair that you have. Like, do not, like, if you want to straighten it from time to time. Do not straighten it every day. Like, let the curls flow, because like when you turn 20, you're gonna wish you still had them if you like lose them. So, but no, talking back to her clumsiness and her physical comedy, I believe one of the lines in the movie is, "I'm still waiting on body parts to grow naturally."
Yeah.
That made me cackle out loud. There's a few good ones. Like the nun later on has my favorite line
for
ever.
the love of God.
Yes. I would spit my drink out if I was drinking it when she said that. Oh, for the love of God, I lost it.
That same scene you're talking about, where she's talking about the body parts, she's into having tea with Julie Andrews, and she says something like, "Just I've organized my life around being invisible, and I'm really good at it." It's like she nailed the teen thing, man.
Yeah.
I think she nailed it. Like trying to be that little nerdy girl, hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, and even like the best part about her is they don't really have to like dumb her down beauty wise. They don't like give her prosthetics or make her look ugly. She just has a natural like girl next door feel about her, right? Like just a normal average kid, a kind of a geeky kid. Yeah, they give her glasses and they take the glasses off, But I mean, that's about it, and that's fun too. When the makeover, and he snaps the glasses in front of her.
Dude,
But,
you know how expensive glasses are? I'd have been pissed.
She's a princess. Who cares about how expensive they are? She's rich. The taxpayers of Genovia pay for it. But
Yeah.
but when they give her the makeover, obviously she's like still stunning and gorgeous and beautiful. But like they didn't really do a whole lot with her there either. Like she's just naturally beautiful. They don't have to make her look. So she just has this like average girl but beautiful quality to her, and it's so, I don't know, just awesome how they're able to do it without like having to go too far.
They don't have to make her into something she's not.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We also meet her tuxedo cat. I love tuxedo cats, clearly. If you watch these videos, she's looking at me right now. She's on the floor staring at me right now.
Fat Louie.
Yes, Fat Louie playing himself. And he must be in the books prominently because the number of times that they just cut to shots of him.
They love Fat Louie in this movie.
I know, it'd be just like he's perching on the stairs looking at him. He's over here loafing on the couch. And it aside from the very end when he lays on the letter, like he doesn't really serve any plot purpose. He's just always there chilling and watching everything. If there she is. Lord. Also the neighbor, we meet the neighbor, Mr. Robitussin.
Yeah, that's what
He's a soap writer.
Who just kind of pops up and doesn't really have anything to do in this movie aside from Joe, threatening him at the end so he can find her. But I did laugh at he's narrating.
I've never ridden in a limousine before, he says to himself. And he starts
to himself. And then he goes, I can't believe I won an Emmy.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, I thought about him. I wonder if he's like just like a not a self-insert character, but just like something like Marshall or somebody.
I was gonna say he feels like Gary Marshall's like internal, mind about himself. Just inserting himself in the story a little bit is what it felt like to me.
And we get to go off to school to kind of get a sense of Mia's school life, and shocker, she is not popular. This is in every teen movie. This is a trope that I do not understand because it is not realistic. I mean, I do understand it, but I think it's very dumb. I was a cheerleader all through middle school and high school. We did not wear our uniforms to school. Ever. I mean, you're wearing you get like stains on them and it's just over.
Nightmare.
They're expensive, and to replace something that's been ruined would be very expensive. Also, the skirts are very short, and you wear like little undies. They're called tights, and they're not going to let us wear that at school. We had tracksuits, so on like pep rally day or homecoming or a big game day, you would come to school with we'd have matching tracksuits and jackets or whatever, change into the uniform to do pep rally or whatever. But I just find it so weird that every teen movie, when they show cheerleaders just like coming to class in their uniforms with their pom-poms, and I get that it's shorthand for these girls are vapid and mean, etc., but I just always think it is so dumb.
Yeah, I can't remember any. I mean, maybe like elementary school, maybe middle school, maybe, but like definitely by the time you're in high school, that is not happening.
And they're also doing
reasons.
cheers, which did not do. What are their names? Lana, Montana.
Hannah Montana.
That did cross my mind if that was like, oh, I wonder if we just started just pulling things out of anywhere you can, name wise.
And we get our, this is going to come up again later in the movie, but Mia's so afraid of public speaking that she pukes. And cannot give her side of the debate, which, in fairness, she had the shitty side where she had to argue for school uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
That's still an easy argument. She could have crushed it. She could have crushed it.
Her crush was sitting there.
She had to follow Brink.
The Mean Girls were...
that dude she has a crush on...
Brink.
Repulses me. Honestly. I was like, he just looks gross. You could just tell he's a douchebag.
Yeah, oozes douche.
Mia's mom tells her that her grandmother's in town to visit, gives her no other information than that. So Mia
Just
shows
that she
up,
wants to have tea.
that she wants to have tea. Yes, time to go to the consulate to meet her grandmother. And I did laugh at, why does she walk on the grass? She's just making a beeline when
She's a
clearly
kid.
you would walk along,
Teenage
along
kid.
the road.
I love that they're yelling in multiple like languages.
Multiple
Get off the
languages.
ground. It's like,
Every time too.
It's
Like-
But when she's in there and they're inspecting her backpack and she says, "Please don't crush my soy nuts," and I laughed out loud. What a strange line. Like I said earlier, I remember Julie Andrews being the big deal selling point of this movie. And I don't think I appreciated her that much back then, but I do. It's interesting that I do now, because I think she really just has that regal air and brings so much to this role. And there are a lot of actresses that I think couldn't. I mean, if you think about what the father and the grandmother have done, essentially made them split up and abandoned.
Yeah, it's pretty dark, actually,
her-
what's
yes.
happened in this movie.
Yeah, like that is really dark, and I feel like you could easily just come in not liking the character of Clarice, of the grandmother, but maybe that's the magic of casting Julie Andrews, because she is just so warm and loving, and you kind of just put that thought aside that
she gives a
she hasn't been
very
in her life yet.
She gives a very, for me, she gives a very Meryl Streep vibe. Glenn Close or Judi Dench, like all three of those are like the women that I kind of hold in that regard that Julie Andrews kind of brings to this film, and the gravitas that she has. They're the only other three women I think could have done what she did with this movie.
And I think she does a great job throughout the whole thing, too, of being... She's like the only... It's a pretty silly movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives it just the nature of her role. You know, she's a queen, like a stately woman. But she's funny. Like, it's not that she doesn't get comedic moments, but she gives the movie some sort of anchor that keeps it a little bit grounded,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I wish they would have spent more time with her and Mia when they're bonding on the day that she cancels everything and just becomes a grandmother, and they really, like, they spend a little bit, you get highlights of it, but like, you don't, like, you can, those two women actresses are great, and they're so good about like making you feel that bond in just the 30-second montage you get there. But like, I would have loved to have spent more time in that day with them, because I think it would have added so much more heart to this movie that would have, I don't know, like, this movie's great the way it is, and it has heart, but like, I don't know, you just could have let those two cook, and something magical could have really happened if you'd have just spent more time there.
I think what makes that hard, and I think I like both of these relationships, but it can get a little bloated if you try to do too much with either one of them. Like, because you're trying to do some of that with her mom too.
Yeah.
And so it's like, which one do you end up? I think they do a good job of balancing it, but it's probably to the detriment of both of them that you don't really get a whole lot of time with either one of them in doing those sort of things.
And I did appreciate whenever Mia leaves and then Clarice comes to their house and she's sitting with the mom, and Mia's so pissed, which I can't blame her, and she like looks at Julie Andrews, she's like, "You ignored me for 15 years," and looks at her mom, "You lied to me."
Yeah,
And, like,
when she's giving them
It's
the
so real.
what for, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so fun. That is a fun moment there where she's just letting them both have it, and it's like almost like the child's becoming the adult lecturing them, you know. It's
Yeah.
Am I remembering right? So I watched this twice and I didn't catch it either time. So if I'm wrong, please tell me. Mia doesn't know that if she decides to not become a princess, that the other people are going to take over the country, right? I did not get the impression.
And I wondered the same thing.
Because the mom knows.
the
and
mom
obviously
and
the queen knows.
The mom and the queen know. They never. I don't like. It
And they
feels
talk
like they
about
never
it.
want to put that pressure on her to make that
Which
decision.
I like. I actually think as a choice, it's really cool that they don't put that on her. But like,
it feels like it's been like shoehorned in at some point, and then they cut it from the movie, and they never really address it to where she doesn't know. But that
But, like,
subplot there is a little odd.
It gives her the chance at the end that it is 100% her decision,
Absolutely.
and that she's
Yeah,
not
I love
doing
that.
it because I would assume that's the only reason that couple exists. Like, we have to have some sort of stakes if she doesn't take it, but we don't want to like put undue pressure that
On
would
her.
make you question why she decided to do, take on the role.
And her grandmother's just like
Very
gracefully
chill about it.
gracefully
Yeah,
willing
yeah.
to accept it. Like, all right, if she doesn't accept this, like, our country's going to two shitheads. I did my part.
I wonder what that would be like.
Which I
Yeah.
think makes her.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah,
More on
yeah.
that in the bonus feature of the next episode. No.
I do. I think that partly also plays into like Julie Andrews being more likable, the character more than maybe she should, is because they don't put that on Mia. Like they kind of like,
I just wish they would have openly said it in the script or in the film, where it's like, hey, I want her to make this decision on her own, whatever she chooses.
Well, especially
I respect,
as a kid,
but like,
'cause I
let's
think
not
that's
tell her.
not something you'd pick up on at all as a kid. Like probably like you just might get absorbed in it and think like, oh, she knows too.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of the other characters. And in my notes, I have written Lily is kind of the worst.
Is that her friend?
Yes.
She sucks.
She kind of is. Like
She fucking sucks.
So I wrote this down, and I'm someone who lost their dad too young. I was only 29. But Mia, as they're walking along, Mia mentions that, she's sad thinking about the fact that her dad died. And Lily says, I thought you were over that. It happened like
2 months ago.
You never even
You
met him.
never
It's like,
knew him.
Jesus fucking Christ, girl.
This was the scene I was talking about.
For the love of God.
For the love of God.
Talking about how they handled the dad thing. And I thought about it a little bit. And I come around to the point where I actually fucking love that scene because it's just so stupid. Like, it's like so, like, just dismissive. And it's clearly on purpose. And it's like, it's almost like everybody's just in on the joke in that scene. Like, oh yeah, this is actually a really stupid thing that we're saying. And like, and Mia's like, well, but he gave good presents. Like, he gave
Yeah. Remember that? Was it a Fabergé carousel?
Yeah.
Is that what she says he
like
got her?
a real ornate carousel. And then that scene closes with like, I need to go see your brother about my baby. It's just like really like the whole scene is like just kind of being played like goofy laughs. Like it's like I don't know. Ostensibly like the friend is, because it's like this isn't the only moment where she's like selfish.
No, it's like multiple times throughout this movie. But after that scene, we go to the garage to meet Lily's brother, and this character was so boring.
Who's playing a keyboard with M&Ms just bouncing off the keys.
There was no explanation for that.
You can't come up with another way to say he likes M&Ms? Like,
I kept waiting for some sort of like reasoning behind.
I just wondered if it was like product placement of some kind. Like that was the only thing.
No, it was we have to put M&Ms on his keyboard so that it makes sense when she puts them on his pizza.
On his pizza, yeah. But
What?
he is so
Some people
boring.
put pineapple on their
I
pizza.
kept
It can't be that
forgetting
much
his
different.
name. Like, I repeatedly had to go back to Google.
I don't remember his name. What is his name?
His name's Michael.
I
But I,
was
had to
thinking
look it up over and over because it was
Josh
like
is the other guy.
Josh is the
guy.
douchebag.
Oh, Josh is Brink. I just call him Brink. For real. That's what I know him from. That is Brink.
But anyway, Michael, who is the real love interest of this movie, he is played by Robert Schwartzman, brother to Jason Schwartzman, member of the Coppola family, and also the lead man of the band Rooney.
Rooney.
Oh, wow.
I remembered Rooney.
I have a newfound disdain for the Coppola family after some stuff today.
Yeah,
So
next
I'm
week's
sorry,
gonna
we
be
can that's all next
fun.
week, but I can't. I'm just you just had to bring up Francis Ford Coppola now. So, oh God.
Okay, there's also multiple scenes of what a terrible athlete Mia is, just to add to her, which does provide some
Hey, her
physical
gym
comedy
teacher's
for
lit
her.
though. I like that her gym teacher's a female, and she's awesome. Like,
And trying to be motivational.
really trying to help
Yeah.
these kids. So Slay, what's a softball to the face at a distance of like 1.5 feet feel like?
Oh God.
I'll say this: softballs are not soft. I don't know why they've ever called them softballs. They fucking hurt a lot worse than baseballs. Playing third base, I've had my fair share. I wear a mask because I've not taken one off the face, but I've taken plenty off the chest, legs, arms, coming in hot. So yeah, not the best. I would absolutely rather take the 18 soccer balls to the head that she takes before taking a softball. Even if it's being thrown by Anne Hathaway at 0.5 mile an hour that just pops on your head, it's still gonna hurt.
I played softball in middle school and it wasn't for school. It was for like a community league, and I pitched. It was slow pitch, but yeah,
That's
I got
danger
hit.
zone right there.
Oh, it is. I got hit literally in the head with a line drive. The stitches of the softball, you could see the outline of them. I got hit one time directly in the knee by a line drive.
Ooh.
But the comedy of me just like, like falling over, and they're like, pick up the ball. And it's like, my knee, god damn it. Yeah, I tried to play high school softball, but it was fast pitch, and every time I got up to bat, I got hit by a ball. I don't know. So I think I lasted maybe 2 games and just said, I can't do this. I need to be back in like the slow pitch league.
Was it new fast pitch at that point? Do you remember? Because fast pitch didn't start in Kentucky until it was around the turn of the like 21st century. So this
would have been 97.
Okay, so yeah, you were right
Yeah.
in the end of like when they started doing slow pitch and stopped doing slow pitch in high school. You missed your calling. Could have been a legend.
Yeah.
What is it that she says to her gym teacher when the gym teacher is like trying to motivate her, and she's like, "I am not an athlete." I forgot what does she say?
I'm a synchronized swimming, horseback riding, rock climbing.
We talk about how kind of cool it is that they just have a rock climbing wall at this high school. Like I don't.
And apparently, your mom could just show up and just.
Well, she's a teacher, right? I assume she's an art teacher at the school, right?
No.
No.
Oh,
she's just an independent artist. Because remember, she ends up going on a date with one of her teachers.
Yeah, you're right.
That doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
they make
never
kind of
happens.
a big deal of it, but it doesn't really lead to anything. Okay, here's the important part. It's time for princess lessons. And when they cut to Mia being tied to the chair with the Hermes scarf, I was like, damn, she's got her tied up like a dog.
Let me sit up straight. Okay. All right. I'm in my princess
I know.
mode.
I keep hunching over.
Yeah, I would not
sit
like
up
a
and
good
watch my
princess.
posture.
I'm in my princess mode.
The
now.
comedy of her like being captured by the scarf, and she's just reaching,
Trying to reach for the
trying to,
utensils
reach
and
for
drinks.
the salt. And because this is a teen movie, no movie is complete without a dramatic makeover and reveal. And as we said earlier, they really didn't have to do much.
Straightened her hair, threw on some eyeshadow.
We meet Paulo.
He's one of those guys. I've seen that actor in 100 movies.
Yes, I forget his name. He's a character actor that shows up in a million different things.
Especially at this time.
He is armed with a hairdryer and a curl. He's got a curling iron for some reason, but they actually they just straighten her hair.
She could totally use a curling iron with that hair.
Take this back.
And they make fun of her eyebrows for being so thick, but I am impressed that the trend in the late 90s and early aughts was like to over pluck and have pencil thin eyebrows, which looked terrible on absolutely everybody. I cannot believe that was ever a thing. If you look at old photos of Gwen Stefani and other celebrities of the time, it's bad. It's really bad. So I appreciated that they didn't go that far with it. They didn't make it trendy. But yeah, they spin her around and she's just got some makeup on and straightened hair. But she looks great.
Yeah, she was beautiful before. She was beautiful afterwards. How about that?
So I read that they shot the scenes of her with awkward Mia, all the awkward Mia stuff first with the big hair at the beginning of the shoot. And Anne Hathaway had said in an interview that she could overhear some of the extras basically saying, I can't believe she's in this movie. I'm prettier than she is, and how is she going to play a princess? But when she came to set in her post-makeover costume, that people didn't recognize her.
Sounds about right.
People's eyes didn't work as well in the year 2000. That's when they shot. They shot this really fast, right? Like it was like because the book. What I thought was crazy was the book came out in 2000, and the movie comes out in 2001. So they fast tracked this son of a bitch. Like,
yeah.
And when Disney sees that they can print money, they gonna print money.
And back to Lily being the fucking worst. Mia's got this makeover. Brother Michael is clearly dazzled by her, and Mia immediately tells her she looks awful.
Yeah, man.
I could not believe this entire scene. She's just...
But that is where Anne Hathaway cooks, though, because she's just sitting there looking out the window, like,
trying
just
not to cry,
letting the one or two tears come, and then Joe gives her that awesome piece of advice. You can see it
all in her face.
That's where Joe becomes, like, the guy that you're like, I fucking love you, bro. Like, he's just awesome.
Joe is amazing.
What is the quote he uses for her?
Oh, it's an Eleanor Roosevelt quote.
Yeah, it's an Eleanor Roosevelt quote.
No one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Yeah, dude.
Good shit.
That's something like I need to keep in mind.
The best lesson you could take away from this movie, if you were just looking at it as like a kid, like you should remember something from this movie. Like that's it. Like,
goddamn, Eleanor.
And also, I love though that they it's sad. Like you feel bad for Mia because she likes her new look, and her friend is just not supportive of her and it's all rooted in like her friend like is just this loser stereotype kid, whatever, who's like cool with it, like happy, like likes being the alternative kid, and that's fine, that's cool. But like she's like putting that on Mia. But then they get like right into it and resolve it right away. Like that could have been something they could have lingered on for the entire movie, and that become like the whole subplot between them. And instead, they just resolve it right away, and kind of like then you start like they get closer to back on the same page a little bit.
They resolve it immediately when Mia decides to tell her, "Well, I have to do all this because I'm a princess," and suddenly she's like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!"
Yeah.
And now they're totes fine.
Yeah, honestly, it would have been maybe better if she had responded negatively to her being a princess and being like, okay, so like
I would have expected that to be her reaction, because I would think that her kind of anti-establishment, on the fringes of society, would view royalty as being like the
negative.
cheerleaders.
Like exactly.
Like
well, she probably does in a sense, but then like later on, she's like, oh, I want you to be a princess. She's still acting selfishly. Like she's like, I want you to be a princess because
I need
to come on my TV show.
And it's kind of interesting though to see a character in a kids movie like openly come out and say like, yeah, the fact that I like being this alternative kid, like I'm a loser. No one's ever going to want to listen to me. Like even if I'm like saying the right things, like even if everything I'm saying is like 100% on point, like I'm the right person in this situation, no one's going to listen to me because I'm not playing the game. And and you have this check, this blank check to play the game. And she's still being selfish though, because she's still saying like, "Oh yeah, my friend should go do this to help, serve my interests."
Yes, exactly.
And then also, can you come on my talk show, please? Her response to it was a little odd that it was so positive, and then also, I thought for sure the tension between them was going to be that she told everybody, like, or let it slip that like, like. All of a sudden, Anne Hathaway's getting bullied, and she's like, "Oh yeah, well you're just jealous because she's a princess," and they're like, "What?" And then it becomes like a whole. She's like, "Yeah, she's the princess of Genovia. You don't know." She's like, "Shut up!" Like you're kind of waiting on that whole thing to happen, and that didn't happen either. And when like the media shows up, you're like, "Oh, she definitely gave it away," and she's like, "No, I didn't give it away." And it was just weird, Like,
it's pretty funny how they. That's where Sandra Oh shines, that scene. But like,
yeah, Sandra Oh's pretty good in that.
She doesn't get much. I guess this was probably an early role for her. seeing her name, I'm like, oh yeah, I know her, but she's in like 3 scenes maybe.
Yeah, and that's the only
she's
one where
very
she really has
small
like
role in
extensive
this.
speaking lines.
I did laugh at the end when I can't remember Mandy Moore's. She's one of the Lana Fontana.
Tana, Anna, Nana, Banana,
Anna.
Fana.
But she starts screaming after Mia's, ice creamed her shirt. And Sandra, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see it. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, why do we think that Mia... Why would you wear a hat to cover up your hair?
I didn't understand that, honestly.
I didn't understand. I was
Yeah.
like, you look great, and I can only assume that it's the whole invisible thing.
Yeah, not
I know I look fabulous now, and I don't want people to notice.
Yeah.
But wearing the hat also makes you very noticeable. So
Yeah, I thought one of two things. It was either she was afraid that if she wore her hair the way that it looked now, with the straight and all pretty, that people would think that now she's trying to fit in and make fun of her for that, or that she essentially... I had my second point, now I don't remember it. God, man, I'm losing all my points today. Why am I losing it?
What's in that cup over there?
It's just cherry Pepsi, 0, man. But ultimately, I felt like that. One, she either was wearing the hat to do that, or to, like, I guess because I think. Oh, the second point was that her friend had made her feel like shit, that about how she tells her that your hair looks ugly. And so, her first thought
That
was,
might be
okay,
it
maybe
right
I
there,
need to cover
actually.
this up. I thought it was one of those two reasons, that either she's going to get bullied for trying to look like them, all the cool popular kids, and they're going to make fun of it, or her friend her friend who she thought would be excited about it, just told her that her whole new makeover, where she looks stunning, she looks ugly. And so now she feels ugly, let's cover it up.
You imagine having a friend
She's a
just
shitty
that would
fucking
say
friend.
that,
as a teen girl, that is something you will never forget. You will live with that in your brain the rest of your life.
Yeah, I can't imagine oh, it's weird.
I could never imagine telling any of my friends that
No.
they looked ugly. Unprompted.
Look, I'd be like, Josh, let me pull you aside here real quick, bro.
What the fuck
hey,
you
man.
doing?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, before we go out tonight, I thought the other shoes matched a little bit better. Put the other
that's
ones
how
on.
it was. That's how it
You
is.
know?
Like it's not like.
I'm not gonna say, oh my god, you look fucking hideous. I can't go out with you, bro. It's like, hey, put the flip flops up and put some sneakers and socks on, and we'll go.
Yeah, maybe consider putting a shirt on.
Yeah. Josh, by the time we get home, please do not run around Red Mile butt naked. Thank you.
All right. We get another princess lesson here where she's learning how to wave, and that made me LOL because I got coached on waving when I was a contestant for Miss Bath County year 2000.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I didn't win.
She wouldn't be sitting here with us if she had
You didn't
one.
sit up straight enough.
Yeah, my sister won.
Oh.
In 1994. She was Miss Bath County 1994.
Oh, so you had a lot to live up to.
Yeah. It's a hard legacy to follow.
Disappointed
All the
family.
contestants had to ride in the May Day parade on the float made by the community that you lived in, and so that was where you've got to ride the float and wave at the crowd all the way down. And I remember every other girl wore very roughly flower dresses, and I had on a pale blue skirt suit, and I had my hair in a bob, and my hair was blonde at the time. I am actually naturally blonde. But I remember someone telling me I looked like Hillary Clinton, and I was like, this is not going well for me. I'll tell you a story about the pageant some other time. Another great story, but
The Hillary Clinton.
yeah.
Oh
man.
no. So what did Miss Bath County that year?
Well, she's a meth
What's
head
she
now,
doing now?
so-
What?
No,
She's actually a very lovely human being.
Okay, all right,
she's
I'm sorry.
She's an occupational therapist, I believe, back home.
She crushed
Cool.
it. Good job.
Yeah.
A good crop that year is what I'm hearing.
I had the wrong year.
All right, yeah, we find out Paulo is the one that spilled the beans on Mia being at the high school because he was so proud of the work he had done on her that he just had to let people know.
So goofy.
Yeah.
I don't even like money.
I don't even like money.
Yeah.
So, you know the scene where also Joe's up there shooting hoops with one hand and like
He's got buckets, bro.
He's got an umbrella in one hand and he's shooting with the other and just making baskets.
Dude, even the friend who's like I'm a loser, non-athletic, hate everybody, she's getting buckets.
Yeah.
Like, they just hooping up here in San Francisco.
But Mia's falling on the bleachers was apparently a real fall from Anne Hathaway
that's
that they
cool.
decided to leave in. Yeah.
She's clumsy.
Slapstick dinner scene. Of
Wait a
course, we
minute,
have-
you skipped over the most like heartfelt part of the film for me, which is like the second time that I fall in love with Joe, is after she's teaching, Mia how to dance, and then Mia leaves, Joe tells, the grandma, "You've wore black for far too long."
He was putting the moves on her.
Yeah, smooth.
That was
Loved
the real
it.
romance of this movie.
Yeah,
was.
man, and
they
then
don't
he
really do anything with
puts
it.
the music on and like they just have a sweet little dance moment, and you can just tell that she adores him,
the
he adores
assistant
her.
comes in and she lets them kind of do their thing.
It's so cute. I love it. Absolutely love it. I love Joe.
What is his job? Role?
Security detail,
Yeah, I was
bodyguard.
thinking security was, but yeah, he kind of does
he's
kind of whatever he needs to be doing.
Chief of staff, maybe.
Yeah.
He does seem like a jack of all trades.
He's the only person that's like on the security detail for the Queen of Genovia. I mean, they have the Secret Service in the U.S. and Genovia has Joe.
And that's all they need.
I mean, look at him. Like,
He can do it all.
He's Billy Badass, man.
Okay. Dinner scene with the
Yes.
other royalty. I mean, this is all slapstick. It's
Is
just,
that sherbet or pistachio ice cream?
I don't know, but all the food looks so disgusting.
Mhm.
Why is it all Mountain Dew colored?
The teeth
Genovia
are like a
not known
weird
for
yellow
what was
color
the
too.
thing that the renowned dessert like like everything just like I don't know that Genovia is a place I'd want to go known for its food.
Yeah, everything was green,
The cuisine
And-
is a little off.
but Anne Hathaway's being clumsy. I love that guy's on fire for like maybe a full 10
Yes.
seconds before anybody else notices.
He's just chilling. Just
Yeah.
Is that the prime minister that's next to her?
I can't remember who
Or-
was what. Aside
I
from
wanna say
the
that
one
the-
couple who
Yeah,
are
I want
plotting to
to.
take over.
Yeah, that's when you first like meet them and they're kind of talking shit and they're like, "Oh, look, that's their princess," But I want to say it's the prime minister that's sitting next to her that is like, "Oh my gosh, if our princess is like, screaming because the ice cream's too cold in her mouth, we should do the same."
They're
Like,
all, "Oh!"
yes, that is some great slapstick humor right there.
I did want to bring up, since I think this is the first scene she's in, the woman who plays the what's her name? I had it on the tip of my tongue. She plays the whatever the
The villain, the Duchess
the
or whatever.
villainous lady, a Duchess of whatever she is. She's in Mulholland Drive. She's the
Is that her?
Yeah.
I kept thinking she looks so familiar and I didn't get around to looking her up.
Yes, that
Oh my
same
gosh.
woman. I can't. Her name is escaping, but she's a nun and some of that other. But yeah, I was like, this is her second 2001 movie that we've talked about.
What did
Laura
she-
Herring?
Yeah. Or no, not Laura Herring. The woman. She's the homeless person in.
Oh,
the
that's the Duchess.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
What?
crap, that's crazy. Bonnie Aarons.
Bonnie Aarons. Yeah, I was like, I have it. It's like it's something. Right there. So yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's like went on to play the nun in the Nun movies and some of those other thing.
Yeah, and she's the hobo in Mulholland Drive. Holy
Wow.
crap!
What a spectrum.
That is quite the spectrum.
She has range.
She sure does.
Baroness Joy von Trocken is her name in Princess Diary.
Well, and we saw what happened after they couldn't get Genovia into their acquisitions. She ended up on a street in Los Angeles.
I can't even remember all the things that go wrong. She breaks a glass trying to do a toast. She drops something and trips somebody who's trying to step over her. And then I can't remember what happened, but the food kind of flies and that grape lands in the... I can't remember his name either. He's sitting next to Julie Andrews' character, and there's just silence, but when he starts laughing really hard.
I love that Julie Andrews is like, have you ever, ate something really cold and it freezes your brain? And they're all like, nope. No.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a universally, a universal experience for humanity.
Obviously, it's easy, too, for Julie Andrews to have, like, a negative reaction to, like, oh, my God, you embarrassed me in front of all of these people. I love that they kind of do a role reversal in the sense that she's like, why would I be upset with you? Like, that reminded me of my first dinner and how embarrassing that was a really cool pivot that, I had not seen it before. As it's happening, you're like, oh, great, here comes the angry grandmother who says, like, you need to be more, regal and more of a princess, and you suck at this, and maybe you're not cut out for it. And, like, none of that happened. I thought that was just awesome. Like, I love the heart this movie has that most other movies, like, it's so much easier to do this, and this is, like, your typical story, and, like, instead, it's the adults react like responsible adults that are trying to mold this child into a better person, and I love that.
Yeah, they're patient.
Absolutely love that.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And that also leads directly into Queen Clarice decides to cancel all her plans so she can go hang out with Mia all day, which is, like you said, very sweet. And yeah, I think there could have been more. We see them at like a pier, and she's doing an arm wrestling game and driving in Mia's old Mustang convertible. And she says, I haven't been in the driver's seat of a car in how many years?
But her driver's license in Genovia has never expired. When they get
I did
pulled
laugh
over.
at her saying, I do believe I'm beginning to feel that corn dog. Oh, yeah, I've been there.
I love the, because she, I guess, hadn't had a corn dog ever. And it's like, likes it, and like, we can get another one. As if corn dogs are like
a delicacy. Yeah.
She had never had a corn dog before because it's not green.
Yeah, it's too brown for her.
It did have pears in it.
Yeah, pears.
So, is Mia's car just really shitty and the engine doesn't have enough power, or is she driving a stick and that's why she keeps
There's no clutch.
Backwards?
Yeah,
there's no clutch. Like, it made it sense for it to be a stick, and I'm like, they have shown the floor pedals multiple times in this movie, and there's only a gas and a brake. So it's reacting like a manual, but it's not a fucking manual.
Yeah, I was suspect when they brought up $400 in repairs, and based on how it looked and where it was going, I don't think $400 was enough to cover what that car needed.
So, have you all been to San Francisco?
No, but I mean, this film does a pretty good job of showing how steep the hills really are.
The hills are terrifying. It's crazy how steep they are. But her rolling backwards and trying to pull the emergency brake, and the whole stick just comes out. My first car was the stick shift, and the number of times, again, growing up in Eastern Kentucky, there's a lot of hills, and especially in Moorhead, where like driving around on campus, and there were tiny roads and big steep hills that you needed to navigate. And the number of times that I popped the clutch and went rolling backwards, it was trying to like pull the emergency brake to keep from hitting somebody.
Yeah, I remember that.
I felt that scene.
Yeah, that's my experience is driving up steep hills and where I'm from, and But I will say, if you're listening and you're kind of in the tri-state area of where we're at, I've never been to San Francisco, and this place doesn't seem anywhere close to as steep as what San Francisco comes across of. But like parts of Cincinnati and northern Kentucky are like that, oddly, and that was something I growing up like I just thought of like, oh, Eastern Kentucky's were all like this hilly, and it's different. Like there are like big steep hills, but like northern Kentucky is more like what it looks like. It's like a tamer version of what San Francisco looks like in terms of like, and I just didn't, no one ever talked about that growing up. It was just a thing that I experienced when I started driving up there a little bit.
That's probably just from being on the river. Maysville is like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of steep hills when you get down to the river.
I'll never forget my sister's first car was a Pontiac Sunfire.
That was my first car.
Nice. It was a stick. It was a manual, and she was learning how to drive, so she must have been 15 at the time. She had a permit, and which would have made me 11. And my dad was teaching my sister how to drive, and so I end up falling asleep in the back seat, just kind of crash sleeping, relaxing. My dad took my sister to the parking lot of the Clarksville pool, Clarksville Family Aquatic Center, and at the time it had a big hill leading up out of the parking lot, and he was trying to teach her how to how to get out of the parking lot. And I just remember waking up to my dad, "God damn it, Stephanie, hit the gas!" And we're rolling backwards. And I'm like, "Ah!" Because he's just like screaming and cussing, and Stephanie's like, "I don't know what to do." And he's just like yelling at her to hit the clutch, pull the brake, and we're rolling down a hill backwards. Oh, it was great. Terrifying, but great. After that, my sister was like, "I don't want to drive with you anymore."
My dad had a 1976 red Chevy truck that was so dilapidated. The back truck bed and tailgate had rust had eaten through some of the metal, and there was grass growing in it.
Oh my God.
It was his work truck for the longest time, and it was manual, but the stick shift was on the side of the steering column instead of down here. And I learned to drive stick on that truck, and pressing the clutch in took every ounce of my strength. I would like brace myself against the back seat and push down. And it was so I grew up on a farm, and he would just let me like drive circles in the horse field, essentially in this giant jalopy truck. I remember the first time that I practiced on the truck, the next day, my left leg was so sore. Like my quadricep was so sore from pushing that clutch in. Okay. Anyway, yes, she rolls back downhill right into a bus. They're being so mean. Clearly,
yeah, they're assholes.
She didn't do it on purpose, and she ripped the emergency brake out, and they act like she did it intentionally and endangered the lives of everyone on that bus. But I love that Clarice plays them like a fiddle. These guys are such dumbasses.
She knights them with a broken emergency brake.
And I was like, also, the second movie we've done where someone gets knighted.
Yeah. Yeah, we've started the month and ended the month that way. We knew what we were doing. We thought this out, clearly.
Yeah, she gets Mia out of some hot water by knighting these guys, and they decide to let the whole thing slide. All right, moving on. So as soon as Mia gets invited to that beach party, I think we all know that it's not going to go well for her. Again, Josh is such a douchebag. When
I am.
Her mom says, "Oh, that Backstreet Boys clone."
I thought he was mean to you. That was the one time I was not happy with her mother, in the sense that, like, I feel like as a parent,
could have intervened a little bit more.
This is the time that you have that conversation with her, is that it's awesome that you're being noticed now, and I know that you really like him, but maybe you should keep your guard up a little bit, because he maybe only likes you because you're popular, or, just something there. Like you, clearly she has those red flags going off. Like, I thought he was always mean to you. And, Mia's response is, "Well, he's nice now." And the mom's just like, "Oh, okay." Like, no. What? No. What the fuck is wrong with you?
They had the discussion the famous foot pop foreshadowing. As Mia is like, maybe he'll kiss me and then I'll get a foot pop. And she explains, oh, you know, in movies when girls get kissed and it's so magical and their back foot just kind of pops off the ground. By the way, I Googled movies with foot pop.
It's a leg pop. Is it leg pop or is it foot pop?
I thought she said foot pop, but it could be leg pop. But anyway, don't Google movies with foot pop because you're going to get a bunch of foot fetish websites. It's like Tarantino's dream.
Oh, no.
Because I was trying to find, yes, this is
Princess Diaries is one of Tarantino's favorite movies. If you didn't know.
I was trying to find other movies that had that trope, you know, but I gave up after that. It's like, I'm not going down this rabbit hole.
It is one of those things that it's kind of cute that, like, it's like a thing that you could imagine a teenage girl growing up watching movies noticing, like, or if you're like old movies or whatever it is that she's into. Like, I think it's kind of fun that they made it a little thing in the movie.
The quote is leg pop.
Okay.
Because
I was way off.
I'm going back through the text messages that I sent you guys from Sophia's review. And the quote is, I think she's going to get a leg pop.
Now Allison's search history is just sullied for no reason.
Movies with leg pop.
That might be just as bad.
When they get to the beach party, Mandy Moore's singing, and of course, they're going to have her sing in some capacity in this movie, because at that time she was literally just known as a pop singer. But would she really be singing Stupid Cupid?
Yeah, something from the 40s or 50s.
Yeah, like we're in a 50s, you know.
She's singing it pretty, like, in a really adult, sexy way, too. Like, that is not, I don't know.
It's the most sultry part
of
this
It's
movie.
not what, like, a 15, 16-year-old girl would be singing it as.
It's a very, like, Betty Boop type of performance.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that the scandal, you know, the third part of the movie, you know, the issue that comes up that is you think is going to ruin everything. The scandal being the paparazzi get photos and video of her in a towel is so quaint.
Yeah.
And not even her fault. I mean, they set her up and...
Yeah, she's just getting taken advantage of, you know.
But see, I think it does a good job of basically presenting that while you're not in the wrong, you put yourself in a predicament that you probably should have been more aware of and better at and realized what was going on here. And as a princess, that's where you need to start looking ahead politically and everything else and maturing. And so I think it's a good vehicle for that to be kind of driven through.
Yeah, she embraced the positives of like this revelation and what it is giving her, but isn't seeing the how that like you're in that position and how people are going to try to take advantage of you.
Yeah, and it also throws out there too, like obviously with the paparazzis putting out there and the pictures and the story that is being told is clearly not what happened. You know, obviously,
and they don't care. Like they got their photo, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
and you know, Josh, we find out that Josh is indeed a douchebag and just wanted to kiss her so he could get his 15 minutes of fame. Also, I wrote down this is where Mia had promised Lily she would go on her talk show because Lily's the worst and wants to use her friend for ratings. Mia forgets, goes to this beach party, and we keep cutting back to Lily's talk show. And I thought there is nothing I would rather do less than watch this talk show.
I think the shittier
for you.
I think the shittier offense is not showing up to Michael's like rehearsal.
But she does tell him, which I thought was kind of interesting, that they at least have a scene there where she tells him like, "Oh, I'll come next week. I'm gonna go to this party," instead of like it's like
that's so rude though.
Like a stab in the heart. But
yeah.
Because I thought they were just gonna have her blow them both off, and you know, instead.
Well, she did. Like, honestly, I think he would rather her just not shown up than for her to be like, "Yeah, well, I'm going to this party because of this and this. Like, I can go watch you anytime. Like, I'm not really worried."
Yeah, I'm gonna go hook up with this guy that I like. And by the way, I can totally pick up. Like, what's weird about their relationship is like it's clear that like they both sort of have a clear fondness for each other, and I mean, I don't like Mia. Obviously,
Just all of a
likes
sudden,
him too.
yeah.
Like even though she's crushing on this loser, like.
Yep. And then she just all of a sudden ignores it because of Brink. Brink. You never seen the rollerblading movie Brink? No, I know you haven't. It's a Disney Channel original movie. I know you haven't.
No.
Okay. That's where
Brink.
he's from.
Brink with an N.
Brink.
Like on the brink.
It is like one
Okay.
of the most like well-known Disney Channel movies.
Coming to you later this year. We'll talk about some Disney Channel.
Meaning
Don't
it is
worry.
not known to me.
Is it a 2001 movie, Josh?
No.
Ah, damn it. Damn it.
Okay. Last section of the movie. Naturally, Mia's unfit for the throne. She has this scandal. She's not mature enough. And this is where we mentioned earlier, Lily's like, oh, now you're not going to be a princess? But, like, how am I going to get my agenda out there if you're not around and being royal to tell people what I think?
No one wants to hear me talk about saving the whales.
Yeah, you
Or
do.
whatever it is she says. Like,
Yeah.
Well, don't forget though. Her and her grandmother have come to the conclusion that okay, like I'm gonna step down and not be a princess. And again, the entire country's fate is now getting ready to go into the hands of Valak and her shitty husband. Valak is the name of the nun, if you didn't know. And the grandmother's just like, okay, cool. If that's what you choose, and like, awesome. But hey, you also have to make a public speech. And so here we are back there, and she decides, fuck that, I'm just gonna run away.
Run away with my cat.
I wrote the most unrealistic thing about this movie is how easily Fat Louie goes into the carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are cat
Steamboat
people.
would have been thrown out. He'd been through the roof of that thing.
The level of trickery and subterfuge and honestly protection.
It's like the one place I can throw a treat and they won't like immediately.
They'll just look
chase
at you
it,
like, nah, bruh.
So I had the two cats I had before this who, RIP crossed the Rainbow Bridge. But years ago when I lived in my previous house and we would show it to be sold, and my realtor said, if you can put your cats up, that would be best. So we don't have to worry about them running out or. And I borrowed, a friend had a very large dog crate. And I thought, well, like I had to go to work and she was showing it while I was at work. So at least it's big enough that I can put their litter box in their food and they're not going to be happy, but they'll have everything that they need. And I tricked them by putting the food and treats, and they both went in the first day. But the second time around, the little one, her name was Rogue. She was too smart. She saw it and she was like, I'm not going in there, and just went and hid under the bed.
She went rogue.
Meanwhile, Gambit, who was my big dumb fluffy boy, was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Oh, treats!" Just walked right on in.
Rogue and Gambit. That's great. I love it.
Oh, he was the best. Okay. Oh, we skipped over that we have a baseball scene here. So Mia, being a bad athlete, comes back up, but she does get off a line drive directly into Josh's nards, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, she's threatened, please just make contact. I don't want to have to fail you. Like, if you can't hit this softball, you're going to fail. What?
Yeah, her high school diploma depends on not a strike.
Yeah.
Also, we have cheerleaders at this baseball game. Okay, sure.
In gym,
gym.
physical PE.
Yeah, we're still wearing their uniforms.
Ugh.
So yeah, Mia thinks she says that she's going to run away to Colorado.
Yeah, she tells her mom that the grandma's gonna come get her, right? And then she tells the grandma that she's gonna ride
with her mom. Yeah.
Ride with her mom, and Joe's the one that figures it out that she's running, and she's also apologizing to Michael and gives him the shittiest looking pizza I've ever seen in film, with the word "sorry" written in M&Ms on it.
And the delivery guy with the long
He's the weirdest, creepiest delivery dude ever.
What is happening?
You gotta take this pizza, boy.
The only thing I can think of is it What is it? It's not 51st Dates. Is it Just Go With It when Adam Sandler was like, the beard, man, the beard. That guy, like, that's what that reminds me of.
Can't say I've
His
seen
beard's
it.
creepy. I think it's Just
Because
Go With It. When they're
Michael
making fun
says
of the
something
beard.
like, "Did you make this pizza?" And he's like, "No, I'm just delivering it." He's like, "Okay, I'll take it then."
Yeah, it's odd. Just so odd. But yeah, that pizza looks like it had been sitting there for 3 hours. And then
Yeah,
they just put
it looked
M&Ms
pretty
on
gross.
it. Yeah, foul.
Oh, if Fat Louie going to his carrier was unrealistic, the most realistic thing is him going to loaf on top of that letter. Because again, cats love to just lay on shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on the couch watching TV and where's the remote control? Well, they're laying on it.
Yep.
Papers, clothes, anything that they can just put their bodies on. And I was like, they probably didn't even have to train him to do that. They probably just set the letter down and he walked
He
up
just
and
walked
sat
over.
on it.
He's a natural. Give that cat an Oscar.
That cat deserves an Oscar.
Best supporting actor. Did you
Cactor.
catch-
I'll see myself out. I'm sorry. I'm
Best-
so
best-
sorry.
Best feline performance.
Did you
Oh.
catch if like was that someone's cat or did they like was it a trained actor cat? Did you?
I'm sure
catch
it was a
anything?
trained actor cat. Hang on.
Fat Louis is a G. I love
'Cause I
it.
didn't remember seeing it in any of the notes, but I thought like I just wondered what.
Ooh, Fat Louie is a cat actor known for playing himself in
Oh, thank you, Google AI.
the 2001 movie. This is actually Cats Fandom Wiki.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Even
God, you
better.
crazy cat people, and you're like, you all just take it a notch above everything.
He reprises his role in the 2004 sequel, Princess
Good.
Diaries 2: Royal Engagement.
I honestly can't believe that there is a sequel to this that I didn't know much about, and now I want to see it. Like,
I know I was gonna watch it, but I ran out of time. I don't know if you all have seen A Quiet Place Day One, the one with Lupita Nyong'o. There is a cat actor who's basically her co-star the entire time, and that cat is amazing.
That's
But
cool.
she did not like cats before doing that movie, and then after the movie I follow her on Instagram. She went and adopted one, so now I follow them. They're so sweet. Mia's dad's letter changes her mind. Essentially, I can't even remember what the letter says. I just remember thinking, I mean, he still abandoned you.
Yeah, he's like vaguely talking about making choices.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, by the way, I loved your mom.
yeah. Well,
I mean, it was really hard, but ultimately, I just had to never see you again.
it was wild too that like the grandmother was like, your father had to choose between you, like his only child, and
His people.
all the
And
people
being
of
a
Genovia, and it was the hardest decision he ever had to make. And I was like, "You're a shitty fucking
and
dad."
he said no to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you want her to come save this country and people that her father said, "Fuck you two. I'm gonna go take care of them." Like, what?
Yeah, I wonder, like, is there's got to be something alluring about the people of Genovia. Like, why do they, what? It's not clear. I will say it isn't the most clear on, I guess the impetus for like why the mom and dad aren't together is because the mom just, I guess, wasn't about that royal life. She wanted.
Yeah, she essentially said, like, could you imagine, like, me just standing behind someone in the photos?
Yeah,
and,
her
like,
mom's selfish too. She's just surrounded by selfish people. Honestly, like that's the story. That's really the core of this movie. Is like everybody in this movie is selfish except Mia, really. Like, and Julie Andrews, honestly, because she's at least like not pushing her towards
Which
doing
makes
this.
it even funnier that what she takes from her dad's letter is, oh, it's not about me. It's about serving the people of Genovia. And she says in her speech later, oh, I think about myself too much. I say I too much. I'm like, no, you don't. You're the only one here that ever thinks about anybody
Yeah, you're
else.
barely thinking about yourself, girl.
I do like her speech, though. While it doesn't seem, like, completely true about her, like, she doesn't seem selfish, it's a very, like, good speech and good approach. And honestly, like, politicians today could learn a thing or two from that one.
Yeah, I can think of a few people who could stand to improve themselves by watching the fucking Princess Diaries of all things.
Sure. Yeah, so to Mia changes her mind, takes off in her shitty car. Oh god, it breaks down. Of course it does. Joe to the rescue. This is where the only role or purpose of the neighbor being in this movie is to be like, I saw her go that way. She arrives soaking wet, gives her speech, looks like a drowned rat. But, you know, she decides to become the princess. Luckily, Paulo wasn't fired. I don't know how. But he gets her cleaned up so she gets to come out.
He was working for free, remember? He doesn't like money.
Oh, that's right. Pro bono work. And Michael's there and her friend. Everybody, the people who are at this ball is such a weird mix, but I guess they let her invite her friends to it.
What is the point of the fucking redheaded weirdo with the coin tricks besides killing time on the show? He has no point in this whole movie.
I guess his only point was so that Mia could stand up to Mandy Moore's character, because Mandy Moore's character was making fun of his hair.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe.
It's odd. He
But
just doesn't
there's-
seem like he's needed at all in this movie.
It could have been Michael. It could have been Lily.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not sure either.
Just another loser in the movie that needs help from Mia and doesn't get thanked for it.
Yeah, Michael shows up. They dance. Mia finally gets her leg-popping kiss.
In a beautiful garden. Oh my gosh, the garden's beautiful. The fireworks, everything. Like that was breathtaking for my daughter. Like when that happened and she flipped the switch, my daughter goes, "Oh
Yeah.
wow!"
Her
I was
leg
like,
pop
"Yeah."
hits a switch that magically lights up this whole garden.
It was pretty cool. It was a cool reveal though, and like
That's
it was
movies
fun.
right there. Like that's
Yeah.
I'm glad that Sophia had that reaction.
Exactly. It was fun as like a parent to see like my daughter like get that little bit of movie magic that like sometimes we roll our eyes at now. You know, I mean, I was like, yeah, of course. And then when like I got her genuine reaction from it, I was like, oh, okay, that's why. Like, all right, you know what I mean? So that was cool.
Yep, we end on a happy note. Mia gets her tiara, and the voiceover at the end, basically exposition explaining what's going to happen. She and her mom are moving to Genovia with Fat Louie. She's decided to rule. I love that on the airplane they cut to him on a pillow with a tiny
He's the
little
last
crown
actor on
his head.
screen, right?
Yep.
Well, it's odd though that she was like, yeah, my friends are just gonna fly over here during break.
And stay in my palace.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is The Princess Diaries. Any other thoughts
Good movie.
that we didn't go over?
Just good movie. I know we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but good movie. Great Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've already approached how I feel about it. I loved it. It's awesome.
All right, well, let's roll right into the bonus feature, which is the rom-com dead? So I know we've talked before about when we were doing the draft in 2001, there's so many comedies. And nowadays there just aren't that many comedies that are theatrically released, but even focusing on a subset of that genre, the romantic comedy, I feel like is almost completely dead in the theater at this point. Like, is it even possible for a rom-com to become successful at the box office in this day and age? And if you think about the directors who are known for some of the best rom-coms of all time, almost all of them are dead. So Nora Ephron died in 2012. Gary Marshall, who directed this movie, died in 2016. Rob Reiner just died at the end of 2025 in a
awful.
truly awful fashion. Nancy Myers is still alive, but she's 76.
She has something, isn't she? Is she the Devil Wears Prada? Am I crazy?
I don't know.
That's coming out this year, or is
No, David Frankel directed Devil
so-
Wears Prada. Are you talking about the new one?
the new one?
Who's directing that?
I don't know why I have Nancy Myers in my head for some. No, it's David Frankel again.
Oh, same, yeah.
Which I think that actually, when this episode drops, will be coming out relatively soon. So, and obviously Anne Hathaway's part of that.
I haven't seen the first one, but like now, just watching this makes me want to watch it just because of Anne Hathaway. I've always kind of liked Anne Hathaway, but like this movie's, I love her.
The Devil Wears Prada is really good. We're introduced to Emily Blunt in that movie. That's her first big role that she was known for over here. She's very, very funny. And then Meryl Streep, I think, is fantastic as the fake Anna Wintour type editor.
Okay. Going back to Princess Diaries 2, because it's coming across my screen right now. It says Mia has 30 days to find a husband or else she can't become queen. And the love interest is none other than Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think that's like one of his first movies is Princess Diaries 2.
Why doesn't she marry Michael?
Well, yes, the M&Ms weren't enough.
Because he's so boring.
But he's got killer sideburns, and he plays keyboard with M&Ms on it.
He's so boring that she went across the Atlantic Ocean and forgot he existed.
So Nancy Myers is
Poor fella.
she's doing a comedy that I guess presumably probably a romantic comedy, but it doesn't specify. But it's set for release December of 2027, Christmas 2027. Penelope Cruz, Kieran Culkin, and Jude Law are the leads. So she's at least gonna have one more movie, hopefully, because she's getting up there too. I mean, she's not.
Hey, listen, Ridley Scott's in his 80s still pumping them out.
So I went and was looking for romantic comedies. I went back about 3 years that had been released in the theater. And if you look, I mean, I was just literally Googling romantic comedies, year 2025, year 2024. There are gobs of hits, but almost everything was released on streaming.
Oh, yeah.
So I made this list here of the ones that I recognize that had been actually released in theaters. And several of them I have seen. Several of them, I'm like, they're not really totally romantic comedy. They're, they go into other genres. But Hitman, but that was in the theater it was one of those things, I think they released it for like a week.
Yeah, in and out pretty fast.
And then put it on Netflix the same way they did with the Knives Out movies. Book Club, The Next Chapter. I remember the first couple, seeing those advertised. Don't remember seeing anything about that coming out. Anyone But You I've heard of, haven't seen. Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. I knew came out.
I didn't even know there was a Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
Not good.
Anyone But You's not bad.
That's the Sydney Sweeney thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her
of the ones we've talked about already, like so far,
Yeah.
it's also like the only one that I think is probably actually a romantic comedy. I mean,
it's a legit romantic comedy, and our guy, why am I drawing a blank on his
Glenn
name?
Powell.
Glenn Powell cooks in this movie.
He's also in Hitman.
I know, but I didn't watch Hitman, but I didn't think Hitman was. I never took it as a rom-com. I took it more of a comedy than a rom-com, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know much about it. But Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney are both pretty. I like Anyone But You. I thought that movie was awesome. No Hard Feelings with
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence is another great one that was in theaters that was fun.
It was described as a sex comedy by Wikipedia versus an actual romantic comedy. Because
No Hard Feelings was?
Yeah, which is probably a more apt description.
But it becomes a romantic comedy. Like,
I haven't seen it, but it struck me as like part of that family of things. Like, I mean, because like the 40-Year-Old Virgin is not I wouldn't call it a rom-com, but it's kind of.
It's a sex comedy.
Like,
yeah.
To me, it felt like just seeing the
romance.
advertising, it seemed like it would fit more in that family of stuff than.
Yeah, the others, Fly Me to the Moon, I would describe that. It's kind of a throwback to like an old screwball romantic comedy. The Fall Guy, which is really an action movie, but
It's got some romance and comedy to it, but it's more of an action movie than
it's
it
pretty
is.
played up in that movie, so I think it counts.
It's fun with Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
That movie's fun.
Materialists, which I don't think is that funny. I would not describe it as a comedy.
Well, I was gonna say most of these movies don't feel like they're really necessarily billed as or teased or catered to as rom-coms themselves, which is where it's hard to like feel like maybe one film a year kind of hits that like hard rom-com line, and everything else kind of flirts with it.
Yeah, and then Google also listed Good Fortune, the movie with Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari and Keanu Reeves as an angel that came out last year. And I'm like, there is a small element of romance, but I would not describe that as a romantic comedy.
But I didn't. That was another one that I wasn't. I didn't. The advertising didn't clock it to me as a, and that can be purposeful sometimes. I mean, because to the point of what why we're talking about this is, rom-coms sort of have landed in this space where they're mostly streaming situations a lot of times and seem like they perform well, because at least a lot of them seem like they get sequels. I mean, isn't there like I've not seen any of these movies. We'll probably talk about like Kissing Booth is like a big one. Isn't that I assume that's probably a romantic comedy, like a teen oriented romantic comedy. Like I think they had like 3 or 4 sequels on Netflix. And there's is The Summer I Turned Pretty, is that a romantic comedy? I've heard that title. It strikes me as a title of a romantic comedy, but I don't know for sure. And also, now that I say that out loud, I don't even sure if that's a movie. It might be a TV show.
It's a series. Yeah, it's a TV show.
Which is part of the problem also, is like with streaming, is you kind of get to this space where all that stuff blurs together, I think, for a lot of people.
And later this year, Josh, you're the one who drafted it. We'll watch another great romantic comedy, which is Bridget Jones's Diary.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Shallow Hal.
Oh my god!
Which you drafted.
Oh.
It is fun looking at.
I cannot wait to shit all over that movie.
There's a lot of movies we didn't draft that fall into romantic comedies, or speaks again to how thick like the turn of the century was, and how kind of just barren it is now. I mean, like Serendipity, that was one of the movies that was on it was like in the top like the Monies. It was eligible for the Monies section of the draft. Some inventive stuff too. There was something I had on my board for my wild card, because I think it's probably a more underseen movie, and I haven't seen it, so I didn't see it leading up to Kissing Jessica Stein. It's like a lesbian rom-com kind of, which is like kind of weird to think about like that existing at that point in time, and like being big enough to like be something that could be on people's radar, which is cool. I mean, Bubble Boy, I think, is kind of a rom-com a little bit. Save the Last Dance isn't. I wouldn't classify it as a comedy.
It's a drama. Just a drama romance. Yeah. Get
Over It's a movie I remember watching a lot growing up. America's Sweethearts is not something I've seen, but it kind of comes up when you do a search. Summer Catch, which is a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie.
Not Another Teen Movie is a rom-com. Super Troopers is a rom-com.
Yeah, Not Another Teen Movie is definitely. I mean, it's a parody, but it is like a rom-com. Heartbreakers isn't. It's kind of a. Have you guys seen that? It's kind of. It's an interesting movie. But I mean, that's just a handful, and like Legally Blonde, sort of. It has hints of it, like, and that's just a it's not exhaustive by any means. And now we're looking at, I don't know, what's the next thing coming out this year? As of going into this summer movie season, what are we? It's right around.
Oh, you forgot. Allison, you forgot the Clooney and Julia Roberts movie that's a rom-com where the two parents in Hawaii, their daughter's getting married, and they were like divorced and fall back in love. I can't remember the title of that. That was another big one.
I did see that in the theater.
Yeah.
God, what was the name of that?
Is that called The Descendants or something like that?
No.
That's a George Clooney movie, isn't it? Oh no, that's an older George Clooney movie.
Oh, Ticket to Paradise. Yeah,
Ticket to
that came out
Paradise,
in
yeah.
2022, and I just went back 3 years.
George
Oh,
Clooney's
okay.
wife is in a coma in that movie. The Descendants.
Moving on.
Moving on.
He just threw a dead fish into that whole conversation.
Anyway, point being, can rom-coms make a comeback in the theater? I don't know. What would it take? Is, the old guard, the Gary Marshalls and Nora Ephrons are gone, and they really catered to boomers and maybe Gen X, but is Gen Z just too cynical or jaded to think that a romantic comedy is something to spend your time on because it's so unrealistic? Or
It's interesting. Something we didn't bring up that you mentioned here in the notes is Bridget Jones, the new, which we again. Oh, you did bring up Bridget Jones, but it came out theatrically in the UK, but was just on streaming here. And I remember looking that up at some point earlier in the year when we were doing another episode. And for some reason, I was looking at UK box office. It was in the top 10 in the UK too. Like it finished in the top 10 like for the year over there. Like so that franchise is still cranking them out as far as like that.
I guess they dumped it on streaming because this other sequels didn't do that well or didn't do as well. But it's just interesting that it is an IP. It's a brand name that a lot of people love, and still they got it made. But all right, here you go, Americans. You got to get the Peacock app if you want to watch it.
I do think the rom-coms and the theater thing it's sort of a symptom, a sub symptom of like just comedies in general. So like being really hard to work and everything. I think people look at, studios at least look at like, okay, I want to like basically any movie that gets theatrically released, almost a lot of them get looked at as like, okay, it's got to be 4 quadrant. Like I got to get, dudes, older dudes interested, older women interested, younger dudes, younger, whatever. And so it's just really difficult because I mean, I don't know that it's like that big a stretch to say that mostly rom-coms are just like serve, mostly women. And I'm not saying that's not a bad thing, but like studios are afraid to put that stuff in the theaters when there's a lot of evidence like I mean the fucking superhero stuff, like mostly like when you break down all the audience numbers, like yeah, women come out to some of that stuff, but it's largely like I'm going to throw out a percentage. I'm probably wrong, but it's probably like 60-70% male when you break down a lot of the audience. So like, why is it a problem? Why can't you make movies that, women that maybe aren't going to the movie theaters might want to go watch, like, I just feel like they could do more, especially because they don't typically cost a lot of money. Like, I think that's the other thing. It's the other part of the, we don't have a lot of these middle budget movies that like, why not? Like you could probably do some really cool like stuff now that wouldn't cost a lot. I feel like that's a space like I know the like Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullocks and stuff of the worlds are the people that people gravitate towards. But like I feel like rom-coms are a space where you can get away with some more emerging actors or if you just get 2 really hot people together. Like, or a couple,
Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, and even they're like probably bigger names by that point than most people would be. But I feel like that's a place where you could, crank out a 10, 15, $20 million movie like this one, like the Princess Diaries. Maybe you get one name that people recognize and, just see what happens. I mean, because if you can make 3 times your budget back on something like that, then it's probably a win, and to me, it's like, I bet a lot of the stuff that goes straight to streaming would fall into that bucket. And it just puzzles me. I don't know enough about how a lot of the streaming services make their money, like how they can justify just doing that instead of like, it still doesn't make a lot of sense to me how Netflix operates, why they don't give their movies even like a month in theaters, like a lot of times. Cause I don't know, like it doesn't hurt you. Like, I feel like, there's,
yeah. That's odd, dude. I agree with that. Going to what you were saying, Allison, about is, this new generation, are they, too cynical for these type of movies? Part of me says yes, a little bit. Like, We don't want the typical love story. We want something more real, grounded, something that's probably grittier and more painful to watch because it's real life versus like this fairy tale. But also, I think honestly, the main problem with why rom-coms aren't successful in movie theaters is back when they were a big deal, movies were like the number one choice for a date, like date night. If I met you at the mall, I got your phone number, and the next week I said, what movie do you want to go see?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a guy had met a girl, gets her phone number, or matches with her on Tinder, and he's like, so do you want to go on a date? And she's like, yeah, what do you want to do? And he's like, you want to go see a movie? She's going to block him immediately and be like, you're not creative. You like, if you're going on a date night to the movies now is like with your girlfriend that you've been with for, a decent amount of time. It's not a first, second, third date choice because you want to know more about each other. You want to talk, have those conversations, and like movie theaters just aren't the ideal place for that. And I think that like they have this stigma to them now when it comes to like dating that like, oh, what did, you went on a date with this new guy. How'd it go? He took me to the movies. It's like immediately like, fuck that. And I think that really hurts rom-coms. I really do. I think that's a big problem with them. I think rom-coms
I'm going to play off that and just say, I don't even, like, people don't be fucking, I mean, after,
okay, where
well, I mean, like,
you gotta land the plane here, bro.
That's how
People
the
don't be
episode's
fucking,
gonna
all right?
start.
I'm here.
Just no context. Josh saying people be fucking.
No,
he said people don't be fucking.
People don't be fucking.
That's like I could be totally wrong about that. Like, just when you read like people like Gen Z or whatever, like they're like just not like they're just not as into like a lot of things. They're not as into drinking. They're not as into having sex. They're not as into like, which it's like, so you're not coupling up as much. And I think that probably, and it could just be reflective of bad research. That could obviously all be false. And like just poor like trend tracking, but also you just see you want to see yourself in the media that you're consuming a lot of times, and if you're not someone who's interested in romance or at all, like why would you want to watch a romantic comedy, like, or like you're not pining for that, like as a individual. I feel like that I do think the thing, and this is applicable to a lot of the things that we talk about, so it's not exclusive to rom-coms, but I do wonder if they're affected a little bit more by, you're talking about competition slate for like people's times and like for what you might do on a date. Also just think so much about like, if you are someone who's like really into movies, like you can watch any rom-com from the history movies that you want to very, very easily. Like you can invite your girlfriend over or your boyfriend over and just say, hey, like, let's sit back and watch Harry Met Sally. Like, and you can watch it, and then you can watch 14 YouTube videos right afterwards talking about it. Like, if you want to, and I would just wonder sometimes with all movies, but even like, especially like things like this, where like there's so much of it's tropes, and like there's so much that's been created that's like really good, and there's a lot of it that's really bad, and like that doesn't like it just. It isn't harder to make new stuff, but it makes it harder to justify it for a lot of places because they're like, we're at a point in time where anything that gets made is competing with everything that's ever existed in that genre in a way that it wasn't like in 2001, like when Legally Blonde or Sweet American Sweethearts or whatever comes out. It's not just, people are going to the movies more. It's also like, they can't just watch, Pretty Woman as easily, as you could, today. I mean, now that starts changing around that time because DVDs, start getting real big and whatnot. But it's just interesting. I think about that with a lot of stuff. Like, it's just so much easier to find yourself in that pond where this thing that you might want to watch is.
Well, and even a credit to what you're saying is that instead of going to the movies to see the rom-com like, No Hard Feelings or the Anyone But You. That's a Netflix and chill movie.
Yeah.
That's a hey, why don't you come over and let's Netflix and chill and watch Anyone But You, and that's just the vibe that people have when they come to those movies now.
Well, and two things. I think that not just streaming movies, but even TV shows. I don't necessarily think that. I agree, Josh, that Gen Z doesn't want, or aren't interested in movies where people fuck. I'm trying to think of how to word this. If
People don't be fucking.
If the fervor around heated rivalry tells me anything, I think people are hungry for new stories that haven't been told, or stories that are told in new ways, or things that you haven't seen before. And I told you all that show is just real close to being pornography, but it is also a very romantic show.
And see, it's so interesting that that's cut through. Like I've not seen that show, but like it's like the only TV show probably in the last 3 months that I've like could tell you something about without having seen it. Yeah. Which speaks to like it's impressive. Like it's impressive that that's cut through, and I know like that the books like romantic like and maybe that's kind of like maybe they're like, but also I think like there's probably like so many books that could be mined that would work like in like I know like and maybe they just need to evolve. Maybe they need to be steamier. Maybe that's something
we're gonna start doing those fantasy smut books that the 40 and 50-year-old women are reading with Fabio on the cover, flying on a dragon. Like those are gonna be a new
M. Night
thing.
Shyamalan is directing a paranormal,
so weird,
supernatural romance next. So
it's gonna be awesome. We know it's gonna be awesome, right? Everybody.
I don't know, man.
Dude, I'm gonna go see it though.
I think it's gonna be more like The Happening.
It could be great. It could be awful, but I'll be there watching it. Okay, my other point was truly the cost of going to a movie nowadays is a huge factor. It's become really a luxury, and I love the theater experience. I pay for my Regal membership because I like to go to the theater and watch movies. Most of my friends don't. I just want to watch it at home, and for me, seeing it in the theater can make a mediocre movie feel better just by having that experience and being with other people and, completely immersed in the dark. But it is exorbitantly expensive to just go see a single movie. Even here in Kentucky, where prices are way lower than they would be in a major, metropolitan area. So in Gen Z famously doesn't have a lot of extra cash lying around. So I think that has to play a big part as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I love going to the movies too. And it's like I have not done it anywhere close since having a kid as much as I would like to, because you just make concessions and try to figure out like and not theater concessions, like concessions in your life, and try to figure out like what you can do and what you can't do in terms of timing things out and other responsibilities. But it is like I would always like when I do go, even now when I try to go, it's like, okay, I go on the discount day. I would do the subscription thing if I was going like a lot, because those are great values. They really are. Like almost all of them are really good depending on what theater you're around. But if you're the average person that we're talking about, like that would want to maybe go see a rom-com, that person is probably just gonna like be going to the movies once or twice a year. Like the subscriptions don't make sense for that person. So like now a Netflix subscription does, especially because a lot of that time it comes with your phone plan or something. That's like my Netflix. I don't think I've ever paid for Netflix. It's all, every time I've ever had it, it's been through my phone. So I guess I pay for it in other ways, but it's interesting to think about the costs and younger people. And I want movies to be around forever. Movie theaters, it is a better experience. So now I will say, like when I was dating, like back in high school, especially, like I don't remember ever going to like a rom-com on a date. Like it was always horror movies or like or something else, So even my wife and like our first date was to see the last Avengers movie that came out. So, and we knew each other. Like we were like we knew each other from high school, so it was like it wasn't like our first time meeting or anything. So I do agree. I think it would be harder like to justify like oh we swapped right and let's go see a movie let's meet each other for the first time and then not talk for 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our final question and the whole reason we're doing this podcast. Does this movie matter?
Absolutely. I mean, duh. Anne Hathaway. That's all. I mean, that's all you need to say. Like, Anne Hathaway, duh. This movie 100% matters. There's no other.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's not our first sweep, but it's our first sweep in a while, I think.
It's our first sweep in a while.
I said it earlier. This would be on my Anne Hathaway Mount Rushmore probably, and I mean she's clearly such a presence in movies still, like one of our biggest stars, and this is where she got her start, so it will always matter if for no other reason than that. Like this is the one, if you're going through her filmography, this is one you have to see. Like you always have to see the first one. But also I think the movie is like, I mean, there was a sequel and they're making another sequel. Like that's something that's in the works, which is kind of interesting. Gary Marshall's obviously not here to direct it because he did direct the second one. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I also think it's cool. It's cool that Anne Hathaway would be willing still to come back for a third, like that, something like this. Like it's obviously a kid's franchise, like, and that she would still be willing to do that is like, I think says something about her as a person and actress. And, yeah, like I have a lot of respect for Anne Hathaway. This is a complete tangent, but like, have you all seen Colossal?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fucking great. Like that's probably my favorite Anne Hathaway movie, and like it's nobody's ever seen it. And it was only top of mind because a couple weeks ago,
Colossal. At
the time of recording, a couple weeks before this, she was like on Instagram. I guess it's on Netflix now, or at least it was at the time of recording. And she was on Instagram, like saying like recounting her experience making that movie and how it was dropped on Netflix and like maybe people might actually see it now because it like bombed, like it like was a flop and like no one's like I barely had heard of it. And it's like about stuff that I'm into, like it's got like a lot of things that I'm into. So she basically is like the too long didn't read version is she's like is connected to like this kaiju monster that like is emotionally connected to her. That's kind of the easiest way to describe it. It's strange. It's a strange movie, but it's really cool.
It's on the other side of the world and it mimics her actions. So she starts dancing. The kaiju on the other side of the world starts dancing. And it's basically terrorizing this city, but at the same time it's doing weird, like doing the robot and weird shit.
All right.
It's an interesting movie.
Sounds like it. Is she in The Odyssey, the new Nolan movie?
I don't know. I know she's doing Devil Wears Prada, which is out soon at the time of release. She is in,
I thought she was.
She's Odysseus' wife, so
that's what I thought. Hell yeah.
I would presumably. So
I'm here for it. Let's go.
Anne Hathaway summer. Let's go.
One thing that we haven't really talked about in regards to her, but I never understood, this happens to a lot of female actresses, but I feel like people were really vicious to her because she's so earnest. And there was this backlash kind of in the press and she just wants an Oscar so bad. And I don't know. I found the whole thing very strange because she just clearly is someone who's really talented and really loves what she does and seems like a very earnest human being, and for people to get up all in her business, and I feel like that was really more of a 2010s thing. It seems to have calmed down and come back around, but I mean people did the same thing to Jennifer Lawrence. She comes out and she's very relatable and everyone's like, oh, she's my best friend, and then suddenly it's like, well, I think she's faking it and she's just putting on a show and this and that, and like we can't have nice things.
How dare she demand to make as much money as her male co-host or co-stars? Like,
yeah.
Well, they did. People did that. Like it's more like coming from a definitely evil place with Brie Larson, but she's dealt with some of the same stuff too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's people, and people do like.
It's like being a victim of the Mean Girls, like of Hollywood somehow. It's weird.
Yeah, and it happens to guys a little bit. Like you hear people like it's like, oh, I'm tired of that dude, or like you saw it leading up to the Oscars with Chalamet. Like people kind of like talking about like, oh, it's just like he's playing into the whole thing. But I don't know. It does. Women unfortunately bear the brunt of it a lot more.
Marty Supreme's awesome. If you're gonna shit on Chalamet, go fuck off, because he's great. I mean, he's good. He's just fucking good.
Before we wrap up, I did want to just give Julie Andrews her flowers again.
That's what I was going to say. This movie matters not just because of Anne Hathaway, but it did bring Julie Andrews into a new generation. And she did several... Did y'all know she was the voice of like the Kraken creature in Aquaman?
No, I have not thought of Aquaman since the first time I watched Aquaman because I hated it so much.
She's done a lot of voice work. She's in some of the Shreks and Minions and stuff. But yeah, nice. I mean, she was semi-retired. This movie kind of brought her back into public consciousness.
And she is still alive as of recording, 90 years old. So
Princess Diaries 3?
Sure hope so. Hope she can.
She's got to have a cameo, right?
Any other comments? I think we're good.
Yeah, it's an easy movie. I mean, like some of the movies we talk about are, especially coming up next month, there's at least one that's might be a little hard for people to track down. This is one of the easier movies to watch, and like just the watching experience, but also like trying to find it. Like it's on Disney Plus. You could probably go to your Goodwill nearest you and find a copy. Probably like half price books, all that stuff. So.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. But it's time to pack up all of our earthly possessions and move to another country, which honestly sounds like the best possible option for everyone who is sane right now. Links to all of our online hangouts are in the description. And if you aren't already, please consider watching us on YouTube and subscribing anywhere you'd like. And if you like what you heard, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple, Spotify, Overcast, or whatever podcast app you're using. And if you didn't care for it, why are you still listening? Feel free to move along.
You'll get to see Allison's cats jumping around in the background.
I know.
Yeah.
I think they gave up. But stay tuned for next week when Slate is going to take us from this G-rated, lighthearted coming-of-age tale to the R-rated horror and gore of Jeepers Creepers.
It's a coming-of-age tale as well. You know, there's a sibling bond and some growth. But yes, we will be diving into the 2001 horror original Jeepers Creepers. I'm really excited to talk about it with you guys. Allison, you had never seen it before, right?
I haven't seen it. I am actually excited to watch it.
All right, I'm really excited to get your view on it. It is it's a fun movie to discuss. We kind of teased a little bit of the stuff about what's going to be discussed in the bonus features, and that'll be a little bit heavy. So it's going to be a really, I think, a good conversation and a good film to talk about that really puts you in the middle of 2001 and everything that kind of connects it to today, honestly. So can't wait to get into that. I've almost got my show notes done, and strap in. It's going to be a long one.
Yeah, it could be a heavy month for everybody. I'm just going to interject real quick. This is Jeepers Creepers kicks off what I've dubbed Monster May, which is our random horror themed month in the middle of the year, the middle of the calendar that isn't October. So you'll see what movies are coming, but we've got 4 movies this month that are all horror, mostly horror.
I'm sorry, I just laughed because I'm trying to figure out what picture Josh is going to put of my face on the creeper, and I can't wait to see whatever he chooses. It's going to be good stuff. Oh, man. But yeah, no, I can't wait. It's going to be a good combo.
Yeah. All right. With that, we'll see you all next week. And in the meantime, watch out for candles at the dinner table. Okay?
She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's time to change. A.
Smell you later, and you'll probably be burning from the sound of it.
Oh, no.
You thought the Princess Diaries was good?
Leg pop.
You like the leg pop?
Yeah.
What else did you like about it?
The part where she accidentally turns on the fountain and all the lights.
At the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you figured out that there's a part 2.
Yeah, that is crazy. There's a part 2. Do you want to watch part 2?
Yeah, and on the 2 there's a little ring.
Yeah, it's called Royal Engagement, which means she's getting married.
And that's what I thought.